Recording in progress. I am a recording. I am in progress.
I have the Pats game on. I'm gonna flip it off when we go to actually record this, but watching
I'm taping it. I didn't even
football.
start it because I knew I would start to get into it, and there's no way I was doing that. I was
Yeah.
just like, okay, Robbie, can we go on at 8:15? Oh, hey Robbie, can we go on at 8:30? Hey Robbie, can we go on at 8:45?
Hey Robbie, can
Hey
we go
Robbie, I'm
on
really into this
whenever?
Patriots game. Can we go on at 10 o'clock, please, when it's over? No, I wasn't about to do
Uh,
that. So I was like, no, not
yeah,
gonna happen.
it's been all right so far. Nothing really spectacular, but
Well, it's not supposed to be. It's a preseason game. What do you expect?
I'm just like
But
I'm
what's good is that I think our buddy took our. I guess Jimmy G's really not coming here because he took Jimmy G's number, right?
yeah, Mac is number 10.
Hack is number
Number
10.
10.
He should have kept
Number
50
10.
until the preseason was over, and then really, really, like, oh, Max changing his number. Is he going to start?
Find your mouthpiece and put on your jock straps. It's the Sports Blitz with Doug and Robbie.
Okay, how long is your show?
You guys have such a great setup.
Listen, if you're under a rock or if you're in a cave, come on out and listen to our episode.
It was fun talking baseball. I love talking Red Sox. I love talking coaching.
I don't care because I would rather there not be an MLB season than have to sit and watch the colossal embarrassment.
Hey, hello, I am Bloom. Yeah, it's Doug and Robbie from the Sports Blitz. I just wanted to find out whether you need some pitching.
There you go. In 5, 4, 3.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 91. Yes, you heard me correctly. Episode number 91 of the Sports Blitz. Yes, we are back.
And who's counting? Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. But we're back and maybe better than ever. Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm Robbie, and Doug, as you just heard, is here as well. Doug, how are you tonight, my friend?
Doing very well, Robbie. Doing very well. Looking forward to this different Sports Blitz episode. And I think that we probably won't be better until after our 100th episode, and then we'll be better.
Yes. First 100, we're kind of just feeling out the nooks and crannies.
Yeah, we're just going with the flow.
From 101 on, we really hit the ground running. So yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Good. So good to hear you're doing well, Doug, as always. And for those of you out there who are living in that rock or under that cave, come on out. Give us a listen. Give us a watch.
Hey, Robbie, you mean under the rock or in the cave?
Yep, I didn't mean that.
No, it's okay. We understood because we say it every week. But I was just like, wait a minute, in the rock? Are we in the rock? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. It's just one of those things where words. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, folks. I mean, definitely give us a watch, give us a listen. If you're coming out from the rock or the cave, also I get your vaccine as well if you haven't already when you're out here. Just saying, we at the Sports Plus as always promote vaccines and yeah.
Be safe. Be safe.
Be healthy. Yes. That's all I got on that. But Doug, as always, we have a sponsor. We have our favorite sponsor, our weekly sponsor. So why don't I stop talking? Why don't you tell the people a little bit about it?
Well, today's episode is sponsored by Simon Organizing. If you have a room, a cabinet, or drawer that needs to be organized, hey, contact Simon Organizing. They work with you to create and organize a space that is serene and a joy to spend time in. Remember, Simon Organizing, creating a stress-free home. And we like to obviously thank Simon Organizing for being our sponsor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Always appreciate Simon Organizing, the best in home and drawer organizing, for sure. But yeah, I think my word related issue is now rubbing off on Doug. I think it's becoming contagious. We cannot speak words right now. But that's okay.
We'll get better as things go.
Which is awkward because we're doing a podcast, so we should need to be able to speak words. But hey, you get what you pay for. In this case, don't pay for it. I never.
We want to get paid. What are you talking about?
Yeah. True. Send the checks in the mail, folks. But anyway, so as Doug was kind of alluding to, this is going to be kind of a different episode from what you've been sort of hearing from us, at least the last few weeks. Sort of a special episode, and we're going to call this Sports Blitz Game Night, because I got to give a shout out to another show that I'm on and that Doug has been on multiple times, called On a Couch Talking Sports, featuring myself and our buddy Kyle. And by the way, shout out as well in the same sentence to Marvel at the Movies. A new episode just came out recently with Doug and Kyle marveling at the movies, and I hear another one is in the works in the very near future. So lots of good stuff going on there, and definitely, if you haven't already, check out both On a Couch Talking Sports and Marvel at the Movies. We, as always, appreciate it. So, like I was saying, on a past episode of On a Couch Talking Sports, Kyle and I actually did this game that we are about to play here on Sports Blitz Game Night, again, as we're calling it. The game I like to call When Was the Last Time You? I know it's a long name, it's a tongue full, but it's a mouthful, I should say, but that's just what I'm going with, because that's even the simplest thing to call it. Because basically what it is Doug and I have both devised a list of questions that we are going to pose to each other. And the way we are going to pose these questions is by finishing the question, when was the last time you? And we're going to add on some sports related scenarios that then the other person will have to sort of think back, use that big old brain of theirs to think back to when was the last time that they engaged in this particular activity, or whatever the scenario, the question holds. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be very interesting to see and sort of hear some of our experiences in the wide world of sports, both, sort of personally as players, as fans, as coaches, as just whole bunch of different things. So like I said, I'm very excited, and since I'm just feeling kind of in a giving mood tonight, Doug, I am actually going to start off by not myself asking the questions, but actually passing the question asking over to you to kick us off here. So what have you got to kick off? I'm using a lot of football puns, probably because the Patriots are playing right now. But what have you got for us to, like I said, kick off Sports Blitz Game Night in our game? When was the last time you?
Are we going to go back and forth, or am I going to do all the questions that I have?
You know what? Again, since I'm since I had not put any thought apparently into this episode other than my questions, I will let you choose whichever. Again, we did not discuss this, so we're kind of doing this on the fly here. But
no, I think we should go back and forth.
Okay,
because it'll be something different each time. So yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to confirm, we are answering each other. Yeah, we are answering each other's questions. We're not both answering, or do
yes,
you want to? Yeah. So yeah. So
yeah, no. We're asking a
Doug's
question,
gonna
and
ask
I'm
me.
asking, and you're answering, and
Yeah,
vice
and then
versa.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay. Again, folks, we're kind of doing a little bit of outlining here as we go. So please forgive us. But all right, well then why don't you begin things here then with your first question?
All right. So this one is I don't know. This one could be easy. It could not be. And I thought about this last night as I was rewatching episode number 273, which by the way, you should watch that on the couch, episode 273. It is really good, and Kyle and Robbie are actually playing this game also.
Yes.
So watch that, rewatch that episode, or if you haven't watched it, please watch that episode because it's kind of a fun game, and it's a game that you can play with family and friends and that kind of thing, and it's kind of fun, and you could, it's
And
just a
I
fun,
and I
fun way of doing things.
and I will say full disclosure that if you do watch that episode again, episode 273 of On a Couch Talking Sports, you will definitely recognize a few of my questions because I did kind of pull a few of my questions out of that particular episode. So there's a little bit
I
of
did too. Some of them,
a little bit
not
of a
all of
tie
them, but
in
some of them.
there. So but anyway, Dick, like I said, you can go ahead and get us started here.
All right, I'm going to start it up with this question. So the actual question is, and then there's some other stuff here. So,
Okay.
when was the last time you saw or hung out with someone from Rivers Day Camp?
Ooh.
So the question is
Ooh.
to Robbie, when was the last time you saw and hung out with someone from Rivers Day Camp?
Okay. Now just to confirm, are we talking about are we talking about just in person or through virtual means as well?
I would say in person.
In person. Okay, well, then that makes that question easy. The last person that I hung out with in person from Rivers Day Camp is my co-host sitting on the other side of the computer screen for me, Doug. Because for those of you who don't know, and I know we touched on it a little bit in a past episode, I think it was a couple months ago at this point, Doug and I did get together for a bit of a somber reason. We went to go support Kyle. His father, as we mentioned, passed away, and Doug and I went into sort of the visiting hours service that was held. And so the nice thing about that was, even though it was a somber occasion, we did get to actually spend some time together in person for the first time since we figured out since December of 2019. So it had been a while. And it was
just a little.
Always it was good to see Doug in person, and again, albeit the circumstances. But yeah, that was the last Rivers person encounter that I have had. So there you go.
All right. That sounds great. Okay, Robbie, you're up next with your question
Yeah.
to me.
All right, Doug. So my first question to you is, when was the last time that you participated in an organized basketball game? And I will sort of follow this up by saying that it could be in a player, coach, or official's role. That's sort of the add-on there.
Okay. Well, that makes it a little easier for me. Well, I can tell you. Well, I'll just answer the question. Last time I participated in a organized basketball game was at Rivers Day Camp, and it was actually reffing the adult boys basketball. I think it was the tournament that we had there, and Yeah, it was with George and who we've had on here, who was
Yeah,
a friend of the Sports Blitz, and
absolutely.
that was the last time. I don't know the actual date. So it was probably the last time I was actually at Rivers working
Well, probably
there,
like the
and
summer of like 2017, maybe, because I think
17,
that was the
2017
last
or
summer you
16,
were
something
there.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was 2016, but yeah, it could have been
Okay.
2017. But
Yeah.
around that time. But yeah, that was the last time I actually refed one of the the tournament. And actually, I believe that you were part of that tournament also, if I remember
I
correctly.
probably
I
was
think you were
on,
doing
yeah,
the scoreboard or
I probably was coaching or doing scoreboard
coaching.
or
Oh yeah, you were coaching actually. Yeah.
yeah. So 3-time Rivers Upper Boys tournament champion, by the way. Don't want to
Oh, of
brag, but
course, of course. No, I
just
want to see the plaque. We should get your plaque.
just the Phil Jackson of Rivers Upper Boys basketball tournaments. No big deal or anything. It's all
Oh, and
good.
by the way, I wanted to tell everybody we're going to try to have um, we're working on some guests also, so we're going to try to
Yeah.
have some guests on, and there are some people that are. I'm not going to name any names, but I don't want to say anything right there. I don't want to give it away, but there are some people that are very connected, possibly connected with some sports teams, or just have a lot of knowledge of the sports teams that we're working on right now. So
Very cool.
the name that I said before kind of rings a bell with a lot of that stuff. So we're going we're working on some good stuff down the road.
Very good.
But so it's my question next.
It is, yes.
All right. So the next question I have is that. By the way, I had that one. That one I had down.
You
The
can
one you
ask
just
me.
asked me.
You can ask me the same. I mean, you
Yeah.
can ask me
No.
the same question. Yeah.
I have plenty of other ones that
I
I
have
just kind of
answers.
pulled out of my head.
Answers to those questions as well. So,
When was the last time you attended a sporting event outside of Massachusetts?
ooh. And by the way, prepare yourself because this is coming down the road for you as well. But the last time
I'm sure. I'm ready for it.
the last time I attended a sporting event outside, I'm just confirming in my head here. Okay, yep. So it was January of 2020, and it was actually with my sister. Shout out Sarah, big fan of the show. She was living in Washington D.C. at the time, and I went for Martin Luther King weekend of 2020, and we attended while I was there. We attended a Georgetown men's basketball game against Marquette. And I remember Marquette was victorious over Georgetown that afternoon, and it was a very, very exciting game and great crowd. Georgetown basketball really, definitely gets some good crowds for their home games, and it was in Capital One Arena, home of both the Washington Capitals and the Washington Wizards. And yeah, that was actually the last time. It's funny, that was actually the last time that I traveled out of the state of Massachusetts, period, between then and now. So yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, January 2020, some good old, like I said, Georgetown basketball in our nation's capital. So
awesome. That's great.
So all right. So
so you're up, Robbie.
Yeah. Yep. My second question to you is, when was the last time that you hold on, sorry, I just gotta figure where I am. There we go. When was the last time that you watched a high school sporting event in person?
Wow. Oh man. Wow. This one. Wow. A high school sporting event.
Yes.
Wow, this one. I think I have this one down for you too. So.
See, full disclosure, I do just because of certain side gigs I have, I do tend to attend more high school sporting events than Doug probably does. So this question sort of goes different ways for each of us.
This is going back. This is going way back, I think. I'm trying to think of anything that I saw. Nope, I've seen college games. Not seen. Actually, yes. Okay, so that's a little bit more clear. Now, I was going to say that the last time I saw a high school game was back when I was in high school, but that is untrue. Last time, I mean, it is true, but I saw one after that.
Yeah.
So the last high school game I attended was, I believe, my daughter was. She was not in the sport. We were going to support somebody, one of her friends, that was playing, and it was a basketball game. It was Wakefield. I think it was Wakefield versus either Peabody or Saugus. I think it was Saugus, but I'm not sure. I think it was Wakefield. Yeah. And it was, I believe, my daughter's sophomore year. So it was about 3 years ago. And we went because one of her friends was playing in a basketball game. It was at Wakefield High. And that's the last time that I went to an actual high school game.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
And before that, it was when I was in high school.
No,
obviously doing track and then supporting the other teams.
Yeah, right, exactly.
going to the Thanksgiving Day football game.
Yeah, no, I hear that, but I know that's good. Sort of supporting the hometown team there and supporting your daughter's school and all that. So that's good. I was wondering when I was asking that question. I was wondering if you were gonna sort of take it back to like you said, your high school days, or if you had actually, since you had been in Wakefield or wherever, if you had had the occasion to head out to an event in that capacity as well. So very good, very cool. That's why. But so what is your next question to me?
My next question is, when was the last time you saw a movie in a theater, and what was the movie?
Oh God.
So it's a double question.
Oh geez. No, I'm trying to think. I know when I think it was, but I'm just trying to think in my head here if I went at all, like in between the time that I'm thinking of, so it's just, and I don't believe that I did. So I'm gonna say it's kind of interesting. It was actually the same trip that I was just describing, from January of 2020. Actually the same night, literally, of the Georgetown basketball game. My sister Sarah and I went and saw a movie, and I'm sorry that I am blanking on the title at this point. All I remember about it was about Jamie Foxx played a, and you might know the movie, Doug, as I'm describing it, so please jump in if you do. Jamie Foxx was playing a death row inmate, and I believe it was Michael B. Jordan was playing a lawyer trying to get him off of death row. And I'm completely blanking, and I apologize for time. It was a great movie. I loved it. It was a very compelling movie, but I just cannot for the life of me remember what the name of the title was off the top of my head. So I'll have to maybe I'll do a little in-show research here.
Yeah, I was doing that for you right now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a problem trying to get on here, but
Just Mercy. Yeah. Just Mercy.
Okay. So you got it
Just
before me.
the name of the movie. So yeah, January of 2020, the last time I was in a movie theater, and like I said, I saw Just Mercy. So
Wow. Very cool.
so there you go. All right.
Excellent. All right,
Yeah.
you're up.
I am up. Yes, and this question is going to be familiar to all of you from about 5 minutes ago, because my next question to Doug is, Doug, when was the last time that you attended a sporting event outside of the great state of Massachusetts?
Okay. Well, is this beside the Pawtucket Red Sox games that we went to at River?
It could be any. It could be whatever the last time was that you attended
Last
a
time was,
sporting
right.
event
Okay.
outside of Massachusetts. So it could be whatever that
Yeah,
last time was.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of when that was versus when I was when I went there. Actually, I'm gonna say yeah, I would say in the let's see, I think it was the early I want to say it was the early 2000s. I'm not sure of the exact date, so I apologize about the date because I'm not really sure. I I started being, and I don't really know why, except I had a couple of friends. I had a very good friend who went to University of Florida, and I just all of a sudden we started going to bars and watching the Florida Gator games, the
Yeah.
football. And all of a sudden, I became a Gator fan. I'm still a Gator fan today. I don't really know why, but
Hey, Gator Chomp, man. Gator
that's right.
Chomp. There
For
you go.
one Halloween, I purpled my face. I had a Gator orange,
Gator
bright
man.
orange Gator shirt. I
Yeah.
purpled my face. I had a Gator cap on, and I went to a Halloween party like that. It was crazy. So in the early 2000s, I was able to go with my friend Mark up to Syracuse.
Ah, yes. The Carrier Dome, the good old
Up to the Carrier
Dome.
Dome and to
I think you told me
watch.
about this. You told me about this
Yes.
at one
Yeah,
point.
I think it was the early 2000s, but I'm not sure. It was when Danny Werfel was the quarterback. So
Got
that
it.
should tell you.
Those
That
are
should
the
tell you something.
Spurrier days, right?
Yeah.
Steve
Oh, yeah,
Spurrier,
definitely.
the
Oh,
legendary
definitely.
Florida coach Steve Spurrier.
Yes.
Yes.
So we had the opportunity to go to New York, go to upstate New York, travel up there, and go to it was Florida, University of Florida versus Syracuse.
Yeah.
And it was in the Carrier Dome, which was awesome because I've never been in a dome before. Because that was really cool to watch because it's like 68 degrees in there all the time. So
Yeah.
like you could take off your jacket and you could watch the whole game without being like freezing because Syracuse gets really cold.
Or brutally hot, depending on the time
brutally
of
hot.
year. Yeah.
But the Carrier Dome was awesome because it was just a constant temperature the whole time. And the really cool thing about it is that we were sitting pretty close. I think we were on the like 40-yard line, but we were up a bit.
Right.
But we were close to the 50. I don't know how we got these seats. It wasn't me. It was my friend Mark who got them. And it turns out that there was this guy and this lady and this guy that was sitting in front of us, and they had Werfel shirts on, the actual shirts. And all of a sudden, as soon as the Gators as soon as Danny Wiffle made a great play, all of a sudden they just jumped up and they were cheering for him, all this kind of stuff. So I tapped the lady on the shoulder and I said, "Well, sorry to ask," because I couldn't see what it said on the front of her shirt, and it said, "Yes, I am Danny Werfel's mom." We were sitting right in we were sitting in back of Danny Werfel's parents.
Wow.
It was freaking great. It was awesome.
Yeah, no,
it was just awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, and we didn't plan on it. It's just not something we planned. It just happened. So it was very, very cool being there. And I remember I remember it very well, and that's pretty much the last time I was. I attended a sporting event outside of Massachusetts.
Very good. Very good.
So I'm going to ask you what you asked me to
Yeah,
before.
absolutely.
When was the last time you played an organized sporting event?
Okay. Organized sporting event.
Yeah, it
Okay.
doesn't have to be basketball. It could be
Yeah.
basketball, baseball, and again, the same parameters. I'd like you not to do because you've umpired a lot. Because you could say, yeah, I did that like last week or
No,
three
no,
weeks
no,
ago.
no, no, no. I know,
So
I know, I know.
this
This
is
is fine. This
playing
is
in the
fine.
event, playing the sport.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Now let me just ask this one question because this will qualify my answer. Does wiffle ball count?
It's an organized sporting event as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
So
Yeah,
so
I would think
no,
it does.
no. So literally, literally, it was this past weekend. I participated in a wiffle ball tournament at the field near my house as part of the 30th anniversary celebration for the local sports camp here in town. Shout out Terrier Sports Camp that I went to as a kid growing up and for a few years as a coach. And I actually had a chance to reunite with several uh, also Terriers alumni this past weekend, like I said, for an 8-team wiffle ball tournament. It was a double elimination tournament. My team unfortunately went 1-2, so we did not make it all the way, but it was still a lot of fun playing. And also, like I said, sort of reuniting with fellow Terriers alums and stuff like that, getting to see some people that I hadn't seen in several years in person. So it was a really fun time. But yeah, it's funny that you say, it's funny that you made the comment, just that because of my umpiring, it could have been just last weekend. Well, it wasn't because of umpiring, but it was just last weekend. So
Well, I, I can't win them all. I didn't say the last five of them. I just said the last one you
no,
did. So
no,
and
I
that's fine.
know,
You asked me to clarify, so that's fine. That's not a problem. I do want to
no,
clarify. I did some in show research. So this was not in the early 2000s when I went. Again, I remember
yeah,
going. I just don't remember exactly when. It turns out that Danny Werfel went he was at the University of Florida. His last year was 1996. So I would say it's between 95 and 96 is when I actually went to this particular
okay,
because
good, hey,
his senior year in which he won the Heisman Trophy
right,
in 19 was 1996.
okay,
So, yep.
hey, there
So
you
I just
go.
wanted to clarify because somebody might come on and say, "Wait a minute, he wasn't even there in the early 2000s." So, and that's fine. Just wanted to
Well,
clarify. There was probably the 95 or 96 when I went.
you folks at home are expecting a lot out of us in terms of our
And our
recall here.
knowledge of our knowledge
Recall.
of college quarterbacks
Yeah, geez, yeah.
that
Um,
played 30 years ago.
yeah, exactly. Jeez,
Yeah,
give
our
us a
knowledge
break
is not
here.
really that
Yeah.
great. All right, so what's your
Um,
next question for me there, Robbie?
Next question for you, Doug, is when was the last time that you attended an NBA game in person?
Ah, great question. I believe it was. I attended my last NBA game. I actually attended it. I took my daughter to her first NBA
Okay,
game, and she loved it. I think she loved the crowd more than she loved the actual game itself.
that
But
makes sense.
I took her because she's seen a lot of Bruins games, but she never saw a basketball game. So I took her to her
Right.
first basketball game, and I believe I think that was 2015. I think. So I believe that was the last time we went. I think it was 2015.
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure, but yes, I attended an NBA game, the first game that my daughter ever saw, and she just ate it up. She loved it. Loved the crowd. She loved the noise. And again, she's been to since she was like 7 or 8 years old. She's been to many hockey games.
Right.
We used to go every Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving, we used to go with my mother-in-law. So
yeah,
but so and she attended the alumni games with us too.
that's
To see
right.
all the alumni guys. So yeah, that's the last time I went.
Cool. There you go.
Yes.
All right, what's your next question for me, Doug?
All right. So my next question to you is, and I don't. This one came from left field when I wrote this one down. I'm really not sure where it came from, but I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
So here it is. When was the last time you played the game of?
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of like on the fence.
Okay.
Because it's a little different.
All right. The funny thing is, I actually know the answer to this one much quicker than I thought it would take me to figure it out.
Well, you gave up with that really quick.
Yeah, it was New Year's Eve 2019, so heading into 2020. I was at a get together, and yeah, we at said get together. I was with my dad at a get together at a friend of his house, and as part of that evening, we played pool for a little bit. So they had a pool table in their basement, and I'd played the pool before because my grandfather, my late grandfather's, where he lives, towards the end of his life, actually right across from his apartment, was a pool table, like a pool room. And
cool.
so I used to go in there and play a lot with him and with my mom when we would visit and stuff like that. And so I knew I had an idea of how to play pool from doing that, but it had been a few years since I had played. But I remember I counted well for myself in that instance. So yeah, that was, I thought I couldn't remember if I had done it, if it had been a few years, but then I was like, wait a minute, I just did it, a couple of New Year's Eves ago. So yeah, that was the last time. I have not played pool since. So
wow, great. Hey, listen, I was able to find a picture. If you could see it, I'm going to try to put it up here. I know it's kind of bright, so I'm going to turn down the brightness.
I see the.
Yeah,
I see the outline of it is kind of.
I know. I'll just turn down the brightness so everybody can see that it's it's easier if I just turn down the brightness.
Aura.
This is a picture of Alana at the game.
Very cool. Yeah.
She's got her Celtic shirt on. She's got. Yeah, so it was very cool. She was actually, I took a picture of her in front of the bear too. Bear that was there. That's her,
nice.
the bear.
Yeah, I see it. Very cool. There you go.
Yeah, so she's got her Celtic shirt on and her hat and stuff like that. So yeah, so I found
the Bobby Orr statue.
I do have a picture of my mother-in-law by that statue, but I have not yet. I think we have one, but I'm not sure, but yeah, we definitely have one of my mother-in-law by there.
Cool.
But yeah, so that's it was pretty cool going because she was so excited about being there. Very excited.
Good. Very. Hey, Celtics games are always fun. So
they are. Definitely. Definitely, especially how they start because they start with music and they guys run out, and I don't know if they're still doing that, but it was the opening was pretty cool. And that's what she was very impressed with that. I know she was like, Dad, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, the players are coming out. They're kind of, getting excited about the game, that kind of thing. So, but she's been to a ton of Bruins games.
Right.
So, Robbie, what's your next question? It's your turn, right? For me?
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Yeah, it is. Because you just asked me about pool. We're trying to keep up with where we are in the episode here, folks, as we go.
Yeah, I'm trying here, but
my next question is kind of an interesting one. When was the last time, Doug, that you played regular golf on a golf course?
So I know what Kyle's answer was. You got to watch the episode to see what Kyle's answer is, because it's a very interesting answer. Because he asked, does mini count? And you said no, it's regular golf. So I'm not going to tell you what Kyle said. I know what he said because I watched the whole episode. But you guys got to watch episode number 273 to watch Kyle and Robbie go at it with questions back and forth with this particular game we're playing now. So I will tell you, I was thinking about this one because I was like, wait a minute, let me answer that question too in my mind, just in case Robbie asked me. I did play Unbelievable. Had to be, I believe I was in high school. I think it was my sophomore or junior year in high school. So we're talking maybe 83, 84. I actually went to play golf. I went down to Florida to see my grandparents.
Okay.
My grandfather was a member of a golf course down there, and he actually took me to play golf on his course, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was actually pretty good, he said. He told me, he said to me, he said, you're kind of a natural at this thing. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have been Tiger Woods. But I actually did pretty well. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it is, and it's not even close to miniature golf.
No,
not even close.
Not
even close.
No.
Not even
Just
close.
because you're a good mini golfer does not mean you're good at regular golf, folks. I got news for you.
No, you may be good at putting, but you have to get it to the putting. You have to get it to the green first.
Yeah.
To be able to do the putting. So
yes.
Getting it there is more difficult.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the last time I actually played a round of golf. I don't believe we played 18. I think we played half of that. I think we played 9. But yeah, that's the last time I did. I was actually out of state too. I was actually out of state playing golf with my grandfather. Right. It was very, very fun.
Very good.
If I remember correctly.
Very good. Very good to hear you once at least had some golf prowess, because you're probably you probably were far better than me than I ever was or could have been. So there you go.
Well, he was a pretty good teacher, so he taught me pretty well, except for the fact that you have to get the ball to the green part, and so you can actually do the putting stuff. So doing that is not as easy as everybody thinks it is. And even if you watch Tin Cup, it's not easy. It's not easy. It just isn't. So, yeah. So that's what I did.
All right. So we're about halfway through here, I believe. We're on each of our 6 questions, if my check marks and math are correct here.
Yep.
So Doug, to sort of begin our second half of questioning, what is your next question?
This one also comes from left field. I don't really know how I came up with this, but here it goes.
Okay.
Robbie, when was the last time you played? I'm specifically saying played in parentheses. Played the game of pillow polo.
Oh, God.
This could be a
Yeah.
stumper, folks. This could be a stumper.
I
I'm not
mean,
talking about refereeing because I know you did a
no,
lot of that too. And I was
no.
there.
I mean, it had to
Actually
have
played.
been, I mean, it had to have been. I mean, it definitely was at Rivers.
Mhm.
I'm gonna guess.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's a
guess.
given.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. It was either when I was in CIT or I was like maybe early counter. Maybe I played like one of the games with the kids or something like that. But it's been. I'll tell you right now, it's been a long while since I even as a counselor. I think in the later years I mainly did the refereeing part than the playing part. So it's been several years since I've done pillow polo. So I mean I can't even give you a remote ballpark as to what year that might have been. But
No, that's fine. I didn't think you were going to it. That's why it was a little bit of a stumper. But I will
it's been
tell
a
you that
long time.
when we were there, some of the counselors did play and some of the
Yeah,
CITs did play. If there was like a 5-on-3 or there was just a lack of kids on one side, and
right.
we had rules that we had to go to. We couldn't score or anything, but we would help them out as best we
Yeah,
can. So we did play, but we didn't. And we had council games too. Council
yeah.
games were nasty. It was like bombardment with pillow polo sticks.
It was like full on
Um,
hockey. They're doing full on hockey.
yeah, it was
chess
full on
and
hockey
pillow
without
polo.
pads. It was full on hockey without pads. It was crazy. But it was fun. It was fun because, we knocked into each other and, nobody really got hurt and that I know of. I never did. So no, but it was fun. It was fun. It was fun to do. But yeah, I had a feeling that would kind of stump you just a little bit
Yeah.
because you have to really think back a little bit.
No, that
So
was a
what's
good
your
one.
next one for me,
That was a
Robbie?
good one. Yeah. So my next one for you, again, kind of an interesting one here. When was the last time that you attended a playoff game for a professional sports league?
Okay. Playoff game
Yes.
for a professional sports league. Good question. Very good question. Are we considering the World Series a playoff game?
Of course. Yeah. No,
Okay, all right.
absolutely.
So if we consider the World Series, I was actually in 1986.
That
I
is
was actually
that is a playoff game. I mean, that is a
yeah,
part
it
of the
is.
playoffs.
It is. I was
Yeah.
at the 7th game of the World Series, 1986. The Mets against the Red Sox. 55,000 Mets fans and about 4 Red Sox fans, pretty much in our row. My roommate at the time, I was in college, and my roommate's dad worked for a construction company, and he had this big job that he was doing in upstate New York, and had 4 tickets. He had season tickets to the Mets, but couldn't go. And he asked his son Jay if he had 4 friends because he had 4 tickets, and I was his roommate. And he said, "Doug, you want to go to the World Series?" I'm like, "What?" What? I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." So we actually took a limo to the game. We got up to upstate New York, and we actually took a limo to the game. We had all kinds of stuff in the back of the limo but mostly alcohol, beer and stuff like that. We went to the game. We partied with the Mets fans before the game. The Mets fans were awesome. They were really great. Unfortunately, the game didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. But the Mets fans, we partied
Yeah.
with the Mets fans afterward too. We tailgated before the game and we tailgated after the game. They were the nicest people in the world. Hey, come on over, have some food. We had burgers and dogs and sausage and all kinds of stuff. And we just partied with them after and before. And it was just great. It was just a great experience. And let me tell you, and coincidentally, that same year, correct me if I'm wrong, was game 4 at Fenway? I think it was 4.
Game 4 would have been at Fenway. Yes. Game 4 would have
Okay,
been at Fenway. Yeah.
good. I'm glad I was right on that. So game 4, one of our family friends had 2 tickets and couldn't go. Now I was at school. Something. Yeah, I was at school. So my father and my younger brother went to Fenway to see Game 4 of the World Series that same year. So
Wow.
three members of my immediate family went to 2 different stadiums to watch 2 different games, but the same World Series.
That's awesome. That
doesn't happen.
No.
That doesn't happen.
No, you don't
Yeah.
care what number of the family going to one World Series game they're let alone 2
It's
going
we
to,
have everybody going together.
yeah,
But I'll tell you, not everybody gets to go to a World Series game. I haven't been since. So this was
I finally went, and Doug, you know this because you obviously know me, but I finally crossed the World Series off my bucket list just back in 2018. I was able to go to Game 1. So yeah, it is a rare occasion that you get to go to a World Series game. So when you do get that opportunity, you should definitely take it.
I will absolutely. I will tell you that even being in a different stadium was cool. It was weird because there were 55,000 Mets fans and 4 Red Sox fans. So, but people were really nice, so they were very, very cool. But we were, if the Red Sox got a hit or something, we'd go, yeah. Keep it down, dudes. Keep it down. We got lots of Mets fans, next to us with all the Mets hats, and we had these little Red Sox caps on, and we were like, okay, we're just lonely little Red Sox fans here. Sorry. I will tell you right up front, and Robbie, I know you're going to know this right away. Going to a regular season game, a baseball game, and going to, and I think this was with every sport too, but especially with baseball, it's unbelievably different going to a playoff game versus a regular season game versus a World Series game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
It is so
totally different,
phenomenally different. The environment is different. These are mostly season ticket holders because those are the only ones who get to go to these games typically.
Oh, I can afford it.
Exactly. What was great was it gave me the opportunity. I didn't have to pay for that ticket. God knows how much that ticket was. I don't know. I could probably look it up. I still have the stuff. I still have the ticket stuff, I believe. So I got to look that up and see if it's on the ticket. But it's just a totally different experience. It was awesome. Anybody that can get to any kind of World Series game, no matter where it is, go, because it is such a different experience. And some people don't ever get to go in their lifetime. So it's a very, very cool experience.
You're absolutely right. 100%.
Especially in a different state too. I mean, it was in a totally different stadium. And against the Red Sox, so that's even more weird. I'm like, I could have gone, it could have been Mets and Yankees, it could have been anything, but going against and I got a team I'm rooting for, but I'm not even at home. So it's just a really very strange feeling, but a very cool feeling. It's so loud and so different.
Very nice. I can imagine. Like I said, it is. You are absolutely right that it is just such a unique experience. Just the World Series in and of itself, it's just like a completely different animal than any other playoff or regular season game that you can go to in baseball. Yeah, 100% on that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Doug. What is your next question? Yes, you're next.
All right. My next question is when was the last time you went to a high school sporting event? And I know that was probably yesterday, last week.
It was a few weeks ago. It was back in June. I obviously, like I said, one of my side gigs is that I announce Wellesley High School sporting events for the local access channel here in the town of Wellesley. And so I had the occasion this year to call 2 Wellesley High spring sports playoff games, which was very exciting. And the last one that I did was it was girls lacrosse, and they were hosting Westwood in the semifinal round of the D1 South sectional at home, like I said. And unfortunately, they came up just a little bit short. They lost by a goal. It was a very exciting. It was a very exciting game, but yeah, unfortunately, just came up a hair short there. But yeah, so definitely compared to Doug, you know, it was a little bit sooner. But
yeah, compared to me, yeah, definitely. But
yeah,
mine wasn't that long ago, but it was, you know, it wasn't last week or a month ago.
No, I know. But yeah, so it was just a couple months ago now. So that was the last one that I went to.
Oh, great.
Cool. So
all right. So what's your next question there, Robbie?
My next question, and I'm curious because I think I might know the answer to this one. But when was the last time that you attended a Division I college football game?
Wait, I think you know the answer to this question.
I think I know the answer to this one.
Wait, I gotta check and see if this team is actually in Division I. Let me check. Let's see. Well, I can't remember the exact date. But it was I believe it was
like 25th. I think it might have been 2015. It was either 2014 or 2015. I forget exactly which.
Yeah. Okay. And this was Boston College. I was so yes. The last time I went was Robbie was nice enough to ask me if I wanted to go to a BC college football game, which let me tell you, I of course, yes. We're not going to talk about the last BC basketball game we went to. We will talk about the.
We've already touched on that one. And,
we only that was against Louisville, and we only went just to see if Kevin McHale and Larry Bird and would walk through the door, and that of course didn't happen. But BC did win that game.
Hey, that game was not a total loss because it did end up giving birth to
what we're doing right now. That's right. That's right. So we should send Rick Pitino a little note that says, "Thanks, Rick, for the podcast." But no, the last time I went to, it was, I think you're right, 2014, 2015. It was BC. Was it Virginia State?
No, it was I think it was either like NC State or Louisville or
I think it was NC State.
Was it NC State? Okay, yeah, I think so. I have a hard time.
Yeah, I just blanked out. I blanked out on that.
Yeah, I have a hard time keeping my games.
Over the years. Well, because there's so many.
Yeah,
but that makes sense. But yeah, I just it is what it is. What's great is that whether they win or lose, it's just fun being there.
Yeah,
having that college experience. I grew up in Chestnut Hill, so I grew up literally from where we were sitting. I grew up literally, I would say probably about 10, 15 minutes away. I grew up in Brookline in that area. And so it was like going home. So, and I used to go to the games when Doug Flutie was there. So, so it was Flutie to Phelan. So it was very, very cool just going. And I think Robbie knows that anytime he wants company to go to these games and he can't find somebody else, certainly I always love going to the basketball games and the football games because they're just fun. They're fun to be at. They're fun to, and again, this is where ideas can come in to the world.
It's in the middle
being
of
being at a sporting event,
you're
Yeah,
chatting and you're just chatting it up. This is when
exactly.
you
You're
kind
just
of
chatting it up
to
and just
create
going,
the
okay, and they
juices
still
start to
playing?
flow.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
still playing. Is it halftime yet? Oh, it's halftime. So it's yeah. So it was really really fun, and it's always fun going to those games. Again, had a blast at the Carrier Dome because it's a totally different experience there. It's just bigger. It's bigger. There's a lot more fans
Yeah.
there, just because it's a bigger school. And it was just fun to be there. But it's always fun to go to a BC basketball game or a football.
Oh, 100% agree. Win
Yeah,
or lose.
win or lose, definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you there for sure.
So I will ask my next
Um,
question.
yes,
Um,
yes.
when was the last time you announced a hockey game?
Okay, okay.
When was the
Um,
last time you announced a hockey game?
well, actually, it is probably closer than you might think because it actually was just this past February 2021. There were winter sports played at the high school level back in sort of January, February time frame, and I was able to go and announce a couple of the Wellesley High hockey games during the sort of abbreviated 2021 season that they had, and it was a lot of fun to be back, doing games after a while away. Because it's funny because the last game that I had done up until doing the hockey games I did this past winter were Wellesley High hockey games back in March of 2020 for the state tournament. Those are sort of the last games I did before everything, came to a crashing halt, unfortunately. And but yeah, so I think I did maybe 3 games this past season, which was fun. And obviously crowds were definitely a lot lighter. I think there was I think they allowed 2 parents per student athlete, something like that. So while there was a crowd, it definitely was not what it would be in sort of a normal year. And obviously everybody was masked up and all that good stuff. So myself included. So but it was still, like I said, it was just fun to be back and doing something that I enjoy to do. And yeah, I had a good time. So yeah, just this past February, like I said.
Wow, that's great. Didn't know it was that soon, but that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it feels like everything's been sort of on hold for a lot longer than it has been. So, but the good news is that there have been opportunities to sort of get back into doing that kind of stuff.
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Recently, which has
So
been
yeah, you're next. Do you have a last one, or do you have a couple more? Or?
I have 3 more questions, but I can sort of go off of how many more you have. So
Okay, I have 2.
okay, then we'll do 2 more each. That's fine. No problem at
All
all.
right, sounds good.
All right. So my next question is, Doug. Sorry, just making a slight adjustment here. Here we go. My last question is, or my second to last question, I should say, Doug, is when was the last time that you ran at least 1 mile?
When was the last time I? Oh, this is good. This is good. Running? You're talking about running.
Yes, run. You ran at
Okay.
least 1 mile. At least 1 mile.
That was when I was. That was definitely Rivers Day Camp. And I'm going to say it was the Rivers Run, and I have no idea what year that was. It was probably when I was maybe even before high school. We had Jimmy was the Jimmy, yeah. Jimmy, who was the track guy there at the time, and we I think that's really what it is. Now, I also did track in high school,
Yeah.
but when I did track, I didn't do the mile. I did the 4x400. I did the 4x400 relay, and then I threw the shot put because nobody else would do it. So I got short legs, man. So I didn't run long races. We had, as they say in the industry, we had people to do that. Because I didn't do that. I ran a lot when I was doing track because that's what you do. You work out and you train and you do whatever you can do. We ran a lot, but I didn't do any. I was in every meet, but I didn't do any of that running the mile. The last time I believe that I ran either a mile or close to a mile was when I did the Rivers Run, which was when I was a teenager, or even before that. I might have been started there when I was 10. So Rivers Run was there. So it could have been when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, something like that. Around that time.
We're both kind of unintentionally rocking our chairs back and forth at the same time. So
yes, we are. I like doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's really the last time I ran a mile. That's a great question because it certainly hasn't been lately. not even close.
Hey, listen, neither have I. I think the last time I ran a mile was back in like 8th or 9th grade, training for my one stint of high school, my 1 year of high school football. So that was the last time I ran anywhere close to a mile. So I'm right there with you. It's been a
Excellent.
while.
Excellent.
All right, so you are up next. Just to confirm, Doug. So is this your second to last question coming up, or your last question?
This will be my second to last.
All right. Okay. So perfect. So I'm right on. I'm right on track with you. Perfect. All right. Cool.
Second to last.
All good.
So, Robbie, when was the last time you watched a playoff game with a bunch of friends?
Okay. A playoff game.
Yeah, or I'll amend that. I'll amend it a little bit. I like to put playoff because playoff is a little bit, it's more. But I can do playoff game. That's fine.
Yeah.
I was going to say regular season game too, but
let's stick to playoff game because I have an answer.
Stick to playoff.
I did watch, and I mean by a bunch of friends, I mean literally 2 people. I did watch game 6. Wait, just to confirm, are we talking about like in person, or are we talking about like
yes, in person?
Yeah. So yeah.
No virtual, in person. Yep.
It was game 6 of the Celtics Heat Eastern Conference Final Series from 2020. I did get together with a couple of friends in my basement, and we watched the game, and that was like the one and only time during sort of the pre-vaccination period that I did watch a game with other people outside my household. But yeah, that was so. Unfortunately, that was the game that the Celtics got eliminated. So go figure. So
that's a bummer.
But we had a nice time. We're all kind of used to watching big Celtics games together. So it was nice to be able to watch them in that good old bubble. Unfortunately, the Heat just got the better of them. So that was disappointing. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah.
All right. Yep. You're up there, buddy.
All right. My second to last question to you, Doug, is when was the last time that you bought a pack of sports cards? So it could be, baseball cards, any sports card. Does not matter.
Does it have to be a pack? And there's a reason I say. There's a reason I say is because I'm really, really, I do collecting. So I do collect.
I will amend to, how about this? I will amend the question to sports card. When was the last time you buy a either individual, multiple, or a pack of sports cards?
Okay, so because I'm really like a long time ago when I was a kid, I just grabbed packs and I just grabbed them and I didn't care. Nowadays, I don't do that. Nowadays, I'm super, super picky about what I pick up. And I typically don't pick up packs of cards now. I'm very picky about, I like pick up like rookie cards now, and I pick up who I think may be worth it maybe down the road or something like that. The last two cards, I'll tell you the two cards that I got, and I think they were at the same time. Yeah, I think so. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 cards. So the last 3 cards that I got was in 2020. Yeah, I'm sorry, 2019. And I think 2019, 2020. I got them in 2020. And I got them in Newburyport because there is a card and memorabilia place there. And I got them there, and they were 2 rookie cards and 1 card that I thought was kind of just cool. It was different. It was a different card. I like that because they're just different. It's like having a Michael Jordan baseball. Michael Jordan signed baseball, which by the way I have. It's different. Michael Jordan didn't really play baseball for that long, and they're rare because he doesn't sign anything anymore, and they were only a certain amount made, a certain amount he signed, because he was only there for I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. So the 2 rookie cards were Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Oh wow, nice.
And yeah, and then I got a Patrice Bergeron card that had I think it's a playoff card, but the card had a piece of his playoff shirt in the card.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
That is a keeper right there.
Yeah, I pick out cards not because I want to sell them down the road. I pick out these cards because I like them, and I'm very super picky about what kind of cards I pick up. I do have a couple of Brady, 1 or 2 Brady rookie cards.
Nice. There you go.
So, and one of them I actually found in a pack, but that was about 20 years ago. Obviously, over 20 years ago. But yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. But yeah, that's what I picked up, and it was just last year.
Very good, very good. I mean, sounds very nostalgic for sure. So
yeah, and again, I'm very picky. I'm not like a little kid that likes the gum inside the packs now. I even have gum in the packs now. I don't think they do. But I just don't. I just don't pick up a pack of basketball cards. I just go, oh yeah, I want those. No.
Yeah, no, I hear that for sure.
Very super picky about my cards and my memorabilia.
All right, well, it is now time for our final questions to each other. So Doug, what is your final question of the episode?
So this is my final question. This is probably not going to be a stumper for you, but it's a pretty interesting question. I thought you may ask this, and maybe it is your last one because I don't know what your last one is. So Robbie, when was the last time we got together in person to do an episode?
Yeah, so we actually we discussed this literally the last time we got together, which was a couple months ago, as we were talking about earlier, and it was I think it was December 30th, I believe, I believe it was December 30th of 2019. We got together in my house to do our sort of end of 2019, looking ahead to 2020 episode, and that was actually the last episode that we recorded in any capacity until I think it was like April of 2020 was the next time we recorded. And that was when we got into doing these virtual episodes. Because of scheduling and all this other stuff that that went down. Yeah. We didn't record from December until then. But yeah, it was I'm pretty sure it was December 30th of 2019 was the last time we recorded an episode in person, and it was at my house. I remember because we were talking about it the last time we got together. So yeah, that actually wasn't that much of a stumper at all. Seeing the fact, like I said, we had just talked about it.
Right, we did just talk about it, but I just thought it was an interesting question for a last one.
All right, Doug. Well, for my last question, by the way, that was not my last question, so don't.
Okay, good. Because I have the same answer.
Yeah, that would have been very awkward.
Yeah.
When was the last time, Doug? For my last question, when was the last time that you got an autograph from a professional sports figure? Now, I'm not just. I'm not. It doesn't have to be just player. It can be someone. Anyone involved in a professional sports organization. But when was the last time you got an autograph from someone involved in professional sports?
Oh, that's a great question. Does it have to be me that gets it, that got it, or? I'm just trying to think, because I'm trying to think of if I.
I guess just for the sake of this question, I can include people close to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Or autographs that you
just because I'm trying to think.
Autographs that you sort of saw the evidence of.
Right. So I actually have a few examples. My dad was a physician, and he worked for the New England Baptist Hospital. He went to an event. At that time, New England Baptist Hospital was, and still is, I believe, still is the hospital for the Celtics. And
I believe you're right. Yeah,
Brian McKeon was the doctor for the Celtics for the longest time, and he knew my dad. And they went to a dinner. Don't know exactly who was being honored, but somebody was being honored, or it could have been Brian being honored. And I'm not really sure for his time there. I don't know if it was Brian or somebody else. Anyway, my dad was able to, because there were lots and lots of people there that knew Brian McKeon, and sports-wise, my dad was able to get me a page full of autographs. Casey Jones. I haven't looked at that page in a really long time, but I know Casey Jones is on there. I believe Sam Jones was on there too. Some of the older Celtics were on there. I have to look at it again, but again, my dad got me that particular signature. This one I didn't get in person, but the other one was from 1982. And I think I mentioned this to you, that there was an auction at my temple, and Bob Wolf, who was Larry Bird's agent, was also part of my temple. He used to donate things from he was not just the agent for Larry Bird, he was the agent for lots of different sports people in the Boston area, and some other people, entertainment people too. One of the big sports agents of the time. In 1982, there was an auction. It was a Larry Bird signed basketball that was donated, and I actually was able to buy it, and I was in high school. I believe in 82, I was in high school. I was able to buy that for $35.
Wow.
At an auction. I outbid this other kid who bid 32. I think I brought about $40, so that was pretty much my cap right there.
You're being fine,
Yeah, I was like, I don't even remember if I even had $35. I'm pretty sure I had the money. I think my cap was 40, and I was looking. I was like, he better not go up again, because if he goes up again, he goes to 40, he goes to 42, I'm done. But yeah, he was done at 32, and then we said okay. I said okay, 35, and he didn't go any further because he only had $32 on him. And let me tell you, he took out and it was all crumpled up, and he had change with him and stuff like that. It was crazy. But that was really cool. John Smith was one of the kickers for the Patriots a long time ago. We got John Smith's autograph too, and I think that might have been in person, but I'm not sure. And Len Berman, who was a sportscaster around here, and went on to do some national stuff also. Len Berman also was a speaker at our temple. So was John Smith. So we had a lot of different people, and again, these are all people that were connected with Bob at the time.
Right.
So that's what I can say about that. I can't remember the last autograph I got in person though. So I'd have to really research that a little bit more. But yeah, those are autographs.
Those are some very good ones. So no question about it. So
that's a great question though. That's awesome, because you really have to kind of, well, what was the last time? Okay.
Yeah, no, I definitely some great questions by both of us tonight. Definitely a lot of reminiscing and sort of thinking back deep into the memory banks there.
Yeah, so that was fun, man. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun to do. A great game, and I hope everybody at home enjoyed listening to us try to rack our brains for some of these answers, because it was a really fun time for sure. But we are now going to move on to sort of the end portion of episode number 91 of the Sports Blitz, which is our final thoughts of the evening. And I will turn it over to Doug to begin things with his final thought for episode number 91. So Doug, what do you got?
So my final thought for the evening is actually, I don't have two. I only have one tonight, which is kind of rare for me. It's a rare occurrence, but well, I actually have two. Well, one is I would love everybody, if you haven't seen it yet, I really would love you to see the Sports Blitz episode number 90. My wife just saw it a couple of days ago, and she said it was phenomenal. It was a great episode. And we talk about sports and mental health. It was a really great episode. Robbie and I did delve pretty deep into this subject. It was a great, not a great subject to talk about, but it was important to talk about it because of what's going on in the world today, and mental health is super important. So please go and watch that episode. It's really phenomenal. It's a great episode to watch. And so my next final thought is, I wanted to touch on it. We might touch on it in the next few episodes. I wanted to touch on our new president of basketball operations, Brad Stevens, who has in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks, has made more moves than Danny Ainge ever made in the 20 years that he was here. I really have to give him a ton of credit. Trader Brad, really have to give him a ton of credit for saying that this is what my plan is and actually executing the plan. The plan is to keep everybody as low cost as possible, so they can possibly pick up a big free agent next year. I'm not going to say who that is. It could be a whole bunch of people. There are lots of free agents that are coming out next year. Lots of big names that already signed 4-year contracts, but that doesn't really mean anything. But I just want to do a little shout out to Brad, Mr. Stevens, Trader Brad, Pickup Brad. I don't know what do you call him, but he said that this is what he wants to do. He's got so many guys who are on year contracts right now. He has changed this team, and I think for the better. I'm excited to see our new coach and see what he could do with the team. He already has some plans. He's been talking for a while about plans for the team, about what they're supposed to do. And it should be fun. But I'm just going to give, he didn't just say, okay, this is my plan and just has the same team as last year. The team's going to look a lot different this year than it did last year. And I give him a ton of credit for going out and doing the moves that he did. So that's what it is. Do I know what's going to happen? No, and I'm not going to mention that right now. We'll talk about that in future episodes. But just wanted to give him some kudos because a lot of people were like, "Well, I don't know if this is going to work out." Well, guess what? He's moving forward, and that's exactly what we want. So at this time, I'm going to throw it over to Robbie for your final thoughts for this episode of the Sports Blitz.
Yes, so thank you, Doug. So my final thought has to do with bit of a somber news that came out just a few days ago now, and it was the passing of a legendary coach in the college football world, and that would be Bobby Bowden, formerly of Florida State University, the Seminoles. Longtime coach there, passed away. I believe he was 91, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yep, 91 years old, and just a legend in the college football world. I mean, one of the all-time winningest coaches in college football, multiple-time national champion. Just really, was the coach of so many stars throughout the years. And, being a BC fan, I had the opportunity sort of later in his career to watch him coach in person. And Florida State would come up here to play BC, and even watching on television, when BC would play down there in Tallahassee. And just always admired Bobby and his no nonsense approach to the game and his coaching style, and just the success that he had during his time at Florida State. And I know that we here at the Sports Blitz definitely send our deepest condolences and thoughts and prayers to the Bowden family, Florida State University and the Florida State University football program, because he was a giant in college football coaching circles, and will definitely be missed, Doug.
Absolutely, not just a great coach, but a great teacher too. From what I'm looking at online about how he really took teaching the game to so many people, and just a phenomenal job. It is a great loss.
Yeah, it really is. So that's going to wrap up episode number 91 of the Sports Blitz. I really hope you guys enjoyed our Sports Blitz game night. Definitely we enjoyed doing it. We will sort of next episode be getting back into some more topic-based episodes, and we may actually have a little bit of a surprise feature for you guys in the next episode, given there's I'm not going to spoil it too much, but there's a little event coming up that will be of interest to fans of all of our shows, that we do this show, and then obviously On a Couch Talking Sports, and even do certain extent Marvel at the Movies as well. Definitely looking forward to this, and like I said, we'll have more on it in next week's episode. So hey, listen, if you haven't already, please subscribe and like this channel and this episode.
Hit the bell,
man, ring that bell.
Hey, look, guys, it helps us out huge. It helps us out. So just subscribe and hit the bell for us.
Yep. You can see, more of us doing what we do best, including Doug interrupting when I'm trying to close out the episode.
What was that, Robbie? I'm sorry, what?
I'm kidding.
I know, that's okay. Yeah, definitely, yes. Of course.
But definitely like and subscribe, please. As Doug was just saying, we really appreciate all the support and viewership that you all give us. Hey, listen, we're on YouTube, obviously. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on SoundCloud. We're all over the place. So, definitely, if you like the episode, definitely drop us a comment along with that like. Let us know some of the things that you'd like to see maybe us talk about in future episodes, because we'd always love to hear from you, the audience member, for sure. So please definitely make your voice heard here on the Sports Blitz. So,
and we'd also like to thank our sponsor too. I don't know if you're going to just say that, but we'd like to thank our sponsor, Zyman Organizing,
as
being our
always.
sponsor.
Shout out Zyman Organizing, big time appreciative.
We will have a link to Zyman Organizing if you want to find out about any of your organizing needs. We'll have that link in the description.
Absolutely. So, like I said, that is going to do it for this week's edition of the Sports Blitz. And until next time, that's Doug right there. You can see him. There you go. Yeah. I'm Robbie. And this has been episode number 91 of the Sports Blitz. And we will see you next time for episode number 92. Bye, everybody.